Welcome back to Gut Feelings Life Unfiltered. Today we're talking about something that I know so many of you are feeling. You're doing everything right. You're eating clean. You're
Mm,
taking all of your supplements on the schedule that you have set out for you.
right.
You're working out. You're sleeping right. And yet, you still feel tired. Your hormones still feel off. Your gut isn't where you want it to be. And it's frustrating because it makes you feel like your body isn't responding to everything that you're trying to do for it.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the woman we see all the time. It's us a little in some ways, right? And it's all the
Yeah.
stuff we're working on. It's the high achiever. It's the one who's checking every box but still not getting the results she expects. It's the one that is just hyper vigilant about their own things and they're like, "Why? Why is this happening to me
Yeah.
still?"
Yeah. So today we want to gently challenge something. What if the problem isn't that you're doing something wrong, but that your body doesn't feel safe enough to heal?
Blech.
That's not fun.
Nah. That makes me just, want to, like I don't know, I'm mad at you for saying that. No, I'm not mad at you, but
I think
it's
it's
so
something that,
true.
like, I don't know, we don't receive that. We're just like, that's not it. Like,
No,
that's
I
dumb.
still need to follow that freaking gut protocol.
Give me a new protocol.
Give
I'll
me
do
a
that.
let's restrict foods, and
Yeah.
then I'll feel like I can I mean,
Elimination diet.
think about how oh my god, for so long, probably 2 solid years, Jen, do you know how many remember on all the things that I
Oh,
wasn't eating and I'm not eating?
so many things.
So many
We did,
things,
like,
like,
every diet.
every single the SIBO diet was
Mhm.
hell on
Oh my
earth.
god. Low FODMAP, yeah.
Oh, low FODMAP is hard. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And it's like there's a time and place for all those things. Like SIBO sucks.
It
Okay.
does.
And I don't know. I don't know if that I don't know, but it was really hard and I felt like, okay, this is what I need to do. And then, you do all these things to heal yourself and then you're like, okay, now what? Right? You're just
Mhm.
always chasing that. So let's paint this picture for you.
Yeah.
This is the woman, you wake up early. You get that freaking lemon water, you
Yeah.
got your greens,
Cayenne pepper in
you
there.
got yeah, you're taking all your supplements. You got your electrolytes, maybe you even got your 10,000 goddamn steps in.
Whoa. I mean, you're tracking your food,
Yep.
you're
Great.
avoiding gluten and dairy, and you're doing the workouts, even when you're exhausted.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And you know what? You're also, juggling the work. You're juggling your relationships, all your responsibilities, and you're, constantly thinking, planning, anticipating,
Ooh.
ready, get 10 steps ahead
Right?
of
Yeah.
everybody around you. That's what I feel like sometimes I'm doing. I'm like, "Okay, I just need to, be ahead of it to catch it," right?
Yeah. And under all of that, guys, there's this subtle pressure to do it right, to not mess it up, and to honestly fix yourself or fix something that's wrong with you.
Right. And that pressure, that's the piece we wanna talk about, but we don't talk about enough.
No.
Because it our media I always talk about this, but it's just there's if you listen to all the people that are in the health world and wellness world, it's all the things you're not doing.
Yeah.
And it's so triggering for me because I have a parent, one of my parents, every time I'm him, so you know he is. Every time I'm with him, he tells me all the stuff I'm not doing. And this is
Mm.
very personal. And so I'm like it's when you go, it's so triggering. Then I go on social media, it's like, oh my God, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, that is
I'm
true.
not all these people, these doctors and all they say you have to do this. And we read all these books. And it's that pressure is so loud and it's forceful.
Yeah. And the truth that can be hard to hear from a lot of us, but it's also kind of freeing, is that healing doesn't happen in a stressed body. I
Mm.
know we talk about this all the time, but you can be doing all the right things, like we mentioned. You could, like, honestly check a box everything. You might be like a perfectionist and you are doing things to a T. But if your nervous system is in a constant state of stress, your body is not focused on healing. Honestly, that's the last thing that it cares about. It's just trying to help you survive. So when it's focused on survival, healing is at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, and I think that we assume survival mode should feel like a panic attack
Yeah.
or an anxiety or, like I hear people, they're like, "Oh, I don't have anxiety." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Okay, I can identify what you do that is mode that is pushed because of anxiety." And one of the things is being an over functioner.
Yeah.
Over planner, hyper vigilant. These are things. So like anxiety doesn't mean like, oh, I go into a room. I mean, anxiety is also I go into a room full of people and I can't breathe, right? Like that's anxiety, but also patterns that you have created to survive can also be anxiety.
Yeah. Patterns like always being on, always overthinking everything, people pleasing, pushing through exhaustion. I mean, Melissa and I both have all of these where it's like your body just reads from those cues that you're stressed. Like if you're always on, like always planning the next thing. That's kind of what I was always doing. I'd like plan out every little step in my head. And then it was almost like Tetris. Like Tetris in
Yeah.
my head, how it had to fit in, and then this, oh, that'll work because that works that way, and then this thing, and it's just like constant state of like not allowing yourself to actually come down from that because then it's like what's the next thing we're doing, and then we're planning meals, and then putting on top of it our health issues where we have to fix ourselves from this health condition creates, oh, there's something wrong with me. So then when you think, oh, there's something wrong with me, that creates fear, which also stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, you're not safe.
Yeah, and I think back on like when I first lost my husband, I mean, I had so many medical problems. And I think I was so hyper vigilant about figuring them out.
Yeah.
But I actually think, we can't go back. And I learned so much in that process. And I became a functional medicine practitioner because of all of that. But if I could go back, I would say to myself, why don't you just sit in your grief for a little
Yeah.
bit? And I think I didn't know how to. I'm watching this show right now. It's called Madison. It's on Paramount and it's about Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, but she's fucking 66 years old and she looks like a smoking hot model. Like she has not aged. And her husband dies. I mean, sorry, spoiler alert. But she is like such an angry griever. Like she yells at her kids and she takes it out on people. Like she's like letting it all out and
Yeah.
like being kind of ragey and being angry and like screaming. And I just like I think those are the people that are healthy grievers.
Yeah.
Um so I guess, like, the point of I don't know what the point I'm trying to make. I
Well,
think
when
that
you keep it all in, like you just kept all that
yes.
grief
And I
inside.
distracted myself with my attention to my physical symptoms and my health issues,
Yeah.
and it caused it was survival
Yeah.
instead of, like, truly living in this fact that my husband is no longer alive.
Because that was way more uncomfortable than the
Whoa,
physical
yeah.
symptoms.
Because you wanna know what's happening to me now is I'm sitting with that.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 years of that, and then now I'm like, "Oh, he's dead." And so instead of, like, attaching it to distracting myself with all these health problems, I'm not. I am now I'm like, "Okay, this is what it feels like to grieve." And I wish I would have had those moments where I just, like, screamed at people, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just did not.
I know.
So anyways,
Ugh. Yeah, so, I mean, that's where we wanna say, like, even if you are eating that perfect diet, your body is still getting that signal that you're not safe. So, it's gonna be in this protection mode, and we wanna kinda break it down, like, what is happening psychologically in your body with that?
yeah, and physiologically.
Yeah, physiologically, sorry.
All of it. No,
Uh,
all of it. Let's break it down. You want to?
yeah,
Let's actually connect the dots of, like, when your body's in this chronic stress state.
yeah. So you
So
have yeah, your cortisol will become dysregulated, your blood sugar becomes unstable, your gut function slows down,
Mhm.
and your inflammation increases. And over time, this impacts your hormones, your energy, your digestion, everything, just how your whole body can function, can heal, can regulate. Like that is not something that's prioritized when we're, again, like we say, when we're in this chronic stress state.
yeah, so when, like, we see women with normal labs, but they
Hmm.
feel awful.
Yeah.
This is so common that because I
And
don't
then they think that it's like something's wrong with them because they're like, "Well, my
Yes.
doctor said it's normal, but I feel so horrible. Like, what's wrong with me?"
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
sad to see that.
Yeah, and well, you don't feel like you know where to go, you don't know what to do with it, and it's yeah, it's sad to see, and it's kinda scary for the person that's like, "Well, then
Yeah.
now what?" Right?
Yeah.
Also, your hormone symptoms, they just don't resolve. They're not
Mm-mm.
resolving, and your gut issues, they keep on coming back. So you've done, like, the protocols, and you've done the gut repair, and you've done all this stuff, and hormone reset, like these programs or whatever, and you are still struggling.
Yeah. Because you're trying to fix a nervous system problem with only physical
That's
solutions.
key.
Yes. So supplements can support your body, but they don't override a body that feels unsafe.
That's
I feel
such
like we're just repeating ourselves so much
yeah.
in our episodes, but I think we have found that it's all so tied together, and we've done it the other way. We've done all the supplements, we've done all the diets where we weren't getting the results that we needed for ourselves personally and for our patients, where it's like there has to be something deeper, more foundational, and there is, and that's the nervous system.
Well, and sustainable, right? Like, fu you can't food restrict your whole
Yeah.
life. There's no joy in that. You can't
No.
take $2,000 worth of supplements your whole life.
Yeah.
That's hard to sustain, and, um, so we have to start looking inward instead of so externally, and I wanna say that the people that like, the person that we're talking about that this comes up with is a very specific type of woman. And
Yeah.
we really only talk about women here. Like, we love men and stuff, but we like to talk about women. So it's that high achieving, responsible, I'll just handle it woman. And I
Yeah.
think that this just falls into, like, them checking boxes and following protocols. It's what you do, it's how you operate. And it's the one who's taking care of everyone else. It's the one who has high expectations of ourselves that too high, lower them. It's the one who feels so guilty for slowing down. And it's the one that you just don't want to let anyone down.
No. No,
And
and I mean, she doesn't even realize that she's stressed.
no,
And she might even, like, think it's normal. She feels normal, like, her body is constantly in that low grade stress response, but that's when you see, like, there are some women that are not this way. This is some women and women that kind of we're attracted to because this is who we are, and
mhm,
we've seen this in ourselves. But that's when you see, well, Sally over there is doing all these things and she did great with that protocol. How come I'm not doing great with this protocol? Well, it's because you're a different person than Sally, where she might not be that one that feels responsible for everyone. She might not be the perfectionist, and she had a symptom and she did a protocol and she got better. But that's why this is a piece that needs to be looked at when we are talking about your healing, because it's going to hold you back from getting the results that you want unless this foundation is addressed.
it's the comparison game.
Yeah.
It's the looking at other people and why are they doing it so well, and I'll there's so many stories that I have of, like, getting to know a woman and realizing they don't have it any more figured out than I do. They're no more smarter than I am. They they have their struggle. We all have our struggles and we all have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, and then we're all just human on this earth. And so if we look at all these people and think, if I only could just do what she did.
Yeah. But
Eh,
we're all so different. We have
Yeah.
so many different factors, traumas, big and small, that have shaped how we're living and
Yeah.
how we respond to the treatments as well.
Right. So let's talk about like a starting point. Like
Yeah.
how do we
Yeah. So here
reduce this?
is the shift we want you to start thinking about.
Yeah.
So, what if healing isn't about doing more? Like we always keep adding more because it's like, I'm not doing enough. That's why I'm not healing. But about creating that safety in your body where you can finally exhale.
So that might look like, I'll just like break it down. You're not going to push through that freaking workout. Oh God, I do. And that's why my back hurts. You're not going to take breaks. You're going to take breaks and you're not going to feel guilty about it. Okay? Like sit your ass down. It's okay. It's okay to rest. And you're going to say no when you actually mean no. And if you don't know your no, this is something I've learned recently. You also don't you can say, "I don't have an answer right now. I'm gonna have to get back to you."
Yeah.
Just don't say yes so quickly. Why are we giving our yeses away so easily? And even if you're like, "Maybe I might say yes. Maybe I kinda wanna say yes." Still just give it a breath. You don't have to respond right away.
Yeah. And even starting to notice, like, where am I almost like not listening to my needs or to that kind of that internal
Mhm.
voice? We like override it. Like it'll like say what it needs. And then we're like, no, we're not doing that. But because every time that you override these needs that you have, like that little voice, you need to listen to her. Your body gets the message that it's not safe to slow down or that you can't let my needs don't matter. And honestly, when we connect to her and start to learn how to listen to her and actually do what she's asking, that's when like your body can feel safe because it's like, oh, I can be heard. My needs can be met. Like I do matter. So it's like this whole it's a different way of thinking. It's kind of like oh, that sounds weird, but it's a way of creating safety in your body.
Yeah, and it takes a long time to trust yourself again. It
Yeah.
takes that voice sometimes may feel like, well, that's not anything, or that's just my, I don't know. There's just so many other things that we just rationalize different things, but then also we're like, well, that one time that I listened, it didn't do that, or one time I didn't listen, it was okay. It's like, so it's hard to understand where the trust starts again. And I think, to be honest, it's slowing down.
Yeah.
It's slowing down your thoughts, it's slowing down your movements, it's slowing down your actions, it's slowing down your responses to people, it's being present in your body, and then over time, you can start trusting that voice again.
Yeah.
It takes some time. So, what about let's talk about other like, that's a good way to start, I think. Um,
Yeah, and another question that like you can ask yourself is what would feel supportive
yeah.
for me, not productive. Like we have to get out of this being productive, which I'm unlearning. Like honestly, like it is really ingrained in my subconscious mind to be productive that I don't feel safe being unproductive. And it is tough to but I think being aware of it first, it's like, "Wow, you're doing that again, where you have to feel productive today. Like, let's slow down, like, what is she actually asking for? Like, you don't have to do all the things." And allowing yourself to feel that discomfort because even with me saying this, it is very uncomfortable to be like, "What? Like, how can I not get things done?" Like, I am
Yeah.
so addicted to that checklist. But honoring what your I mean, I guess your inner her, your soul, your I feel like there's 2 versions of me. There's, like, the nice one and there's the mean one. But there is an inner part of me that I have not listened to because the other one is, like, how I need to be productive and get more done. So I'm starting to learn to listen to what I actually need in order to heal, and it's uncomfortable at first, but it gets better like anything. With practice, it gets easier.
Yeah, and it started when we learned that love was conditional
Yeah.
and when that love was earned. And then we were like, okay, well, if I function at a high pace, or if I'm a high functioning person, then I will be rewarded and I will be loved more and I will be told that I'm great. And I'm just going to keep on doing that because that makes everybody else feel really good about themselves. And then I think as an adult, what happens is it's habit. We don't
Yeah.
know. It's like breathing air. It's like drinking water. It's so ingrained into our DNA
Mhm.
that we can't undo that. Um, and there's a lot of things at play. I think that's how we were raised. I think there's the media. I think hustle culture was like a real problem, like for our generation, boss lady,
Yeah.
which there's so many benefits to that because of the suppression of women. But then it was like, there's a correction that's happening now of like still honoring our femininity and honoring who we are and what we need. When somebody's telling you how to operate, essentially, I think that's where you have to start because we only know how we need to operate. Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you what you need to do to live a better life or to like I can tell you what I think, but that might not actually be good for you,
Yeah.
right? So it's listening, like you said, listening to the voices. Like,
I
listen to
know.
the voices in your head.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, and it's not about, like, flipping the switch overnight, like we
no.
said, like, they have to be slow steps where you're teaching your body that it's safe to, like, come out of this survival mode that we've been living in, and it is micro movements, like,
Yeah.
consistency.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you take anything from this episode, I just want you to know that you are not failing your body. You are not failing anything. You're not failing
No.
life. We're just thinking about change.
Yes,
Subtle little
you
changes.
don't need more discipline, you
No.
don't need more I mean, awareness is helpful. I mean, you do need more awareness and
Yeah, I'm like, what?
safety. You do need awareness, always. Always being aware of, like, what we're thinking, like, non-judgmentally observing is this awareness where you're like, "Huh,
Mhm.
look at that thought again," because a lot of this, like I said, is in our subconscious mind, where when we're aware of it, you can kind of be like, look at that. That's very interesting thought that I have where I
Yeah,
can't slow down. So it does bring that to the surface where then you can make it safe to have these feelings and these actions because that is where healing is actually going to take place is when we kind of get out of that state and into our safety state.
I love that. I hope that you guys just took our words and put them in your little hearts and you love yourself more and you appreciate your growth and your development and who you are as a person because if you're listening and you listen to this whole episode, you are on that path. It is not, and I'm not just saying that because there's no world where you're listening and you're thinking, well, I'm not doing any of it. Like, there's just not. Like, you love yourself enough to listen to the podcast and do the work and try to be better and try to grow as a person. And so you are already on the path. I like to say that if you're on the path or you're off the path, you are on the path.
Yeah, and
Um,
Melissa and I too are like also sharing like not look at us, like we have this all
no.
figured out. We are like come with us on this journey cuz we're figuring it out with you guys and we're sharing what works and it is a journey and it's not giving up on yourself because you are worth it to create the most best life that you possibly can
Mhm.
and that's our mission.
It is through and through.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for listening.
Bye guys.
Bye.